Man, today is an exciting day, everybody. Today I've been waiting on, the moment we all been waiting on. All college fans, football fans across the nation have been waiting on. Today is week one officially of college football season. Now, I don't know about you, but I couldn't sleep last night. I've got a lot of energy and I'm excited because we got a lot of great games today. A lot of great games. And today I'm going to give you my picks for my week one games. Now let's get started as Oregon State takes on Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio. Now, Ohio State's had a lot of tragedy and controversy with the Urban Meyer situation as he got 3 games suspension for the Zach Smith situation. Now, they're taking on Oregon State, which is one of the worst FBS teams in the country. They're also bringing in a new quarterback in Dwayne Haskins, who has a cannon for an arm, as he's replacing J.T. Barrett, who felt like he'd been there for 10 years. But he can throw the ball, can move around the pocket. He's got elite weapons everywhere off the side of the ball. So this game is a 40-point spread, and I see Ohio State wiping Oregon State out with ease. This game will be finished by the second half. Easily Ohio State, no problems asked. Now let's move on. Number 23, Texas goes to College Park to take on Maryland, as last year Texas was demolished by Maryland in Austin. So I think this year they'll have payback. Sam Ehlinger has been announced the starting quarterback by Tom Herman, who's in his second year. Defensively, they were amazing last year. This year, offensively, they'll improve. Texas is a sleeper in the Big 12 and will make a little bit of noise and prove a lot of people wrong. Now let's go on to Florida Atlantic, coached by Lane Kiffin, as they head to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the newly revamped Oklahoma Sooners, who lost the Heisman-winning starting quarterback Baker Mayfield, who was drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Browns. Now they're replacing with quarterback Kyler Murray, who's been sitting in the winning waiting, who actually transfers from Texas A&M. Now, fun fact, he was also drafted by the Oakland Athletics in the Major League Baseball draft in the first round. So he'll have a good year. I think Oklahoma will win the Big 12 again, as they're led by Rodney Anderson, the running back. They got Trey Sermon, CeeDee Lamb, a receiver. They're still talented everywhere. As Oklahoma is still the best team in the Big 12, in my opinion. So this game will be close for about a half. And then as the second half breaks, Oklahoma will break the game wide open. But one more fact about this game, too. Look out for Devin Singletary, the running back for Florida Atlantic. He will be a future NFL star. With that said, I'm taking Oklahoma. Now let's go down to another school in Texas. The Southern is taking on TCU, the Horned Frogs, as they're breaking in a new starting quarterback, which will most likely be Sean Robinson, a future NFL star that has the talent. He's a former Elite 11 quarterback. Now, Gary Patterson is a great coach, and he's always got the job done with a lot of talent. TCU will continue to be a sleeper. They'll have something to say about the Big 12, but they won't be winning it. But they definitely will blow Southern out today, and that'll be another game for them to focus on. In a couple weeks, they'll be taking on Ohio State. Let's go. Furman's taking on, number 2, Clemson. As we all know, Clemson is stacked as usual, just like Alabama. Clemson has a stud defensive line with potential 4 first-round picks in next year's draft from Christian Wilkins, Austin Bryant, Dexter Lawrence, and Cleveland Farrell, who all came back for another year. Now, this team will get it done as Kelly Bryant is coming into a senior year with a lot of pressure on his back, as Clemson has got 4-star quarterback Trevor Lawrence right behind him. Now, I see Kelly Bryant only playing a half. Clemson's going to blow them out, and Trevor Lawrence will get in the second half, and they will break this game wide open. Obviously, Clemson played Furman a lot of money to play this game, but this will be a blowout and a good way to start the season for number 2 Clemson, as they will dominate this game at home. Now, let's jump to one of the key matchups, and I think the most important game of the day, and that is number 6 Washington taking on number 9 Auburn in Atlanta. Man, this game, I've been stuck on the fence with this game. A lot of people are taking Auburn, this is pretty much a pick'em game, but Auburn's favored by 2. But even with that said, Washington's ranked higher, and they're not favored in this game. But I'm going to take Washington. With the talent they have, Jake Browning having a down year last year, returning for his senior year. They also have Myles Gaskins. I know they got to replace Austin Pettis and some receivers on the side of the ball, but the defense is still good. I still think they'll make a lot of noise. And if Washington has to win this game in order to be able to qualify for the college football playoff, in my opinion, they lose this game, there's no chance they're getting in the college football playoff. They can slip up in Pac-12 play, but not against Auburn. They need to get it done because, as we all know, the SEC is way more high-powered than the Pac-12, which gets no respect around the country. And Auburn's led by Jarrett Stidham, the quarterback, but he's lost a couple receivers to injury in the preseason. Their defense is stacked, though. I love Jarrett Stidham, and I think he's a sleeper for a future NFL quarterback star. But with that said, I'm going against a lot of people, and I'm taking Washington with the proven talent returning and traveling all the way across country and proving why the Pac-12 is not as bad as people think it is. So I'm taking Washington in this game. Now let's go down to Austin Peay against Georgia. Number 3 Georgia. I don't even need to say anything. Jake Fromm, come on, offense weapon Georgia. Austin Peay, FCS school. Not going to happen. Georgia, easy win. Nothing else to say. Now let's go down to another game. Number 17, West Virginia is taking on Tennessee in Charlottesville, North Carolina at the Carolina Panthers Stadium. Now, West Virginia is led by Heisman potential winner Will Grier and David Seals. Now, this game is a 9.5-point here at West Virginia. Tennessee will keep this closer than a lot of the experts think, but I'm still taking West Virginia to win this game easily. So, let's go with that. Now, let's jump down to App State, traveling to number 10 Penn State. Now, today marks the 11-year anniversary of App State defeating Michigan back in 2007. It won't happen with Penn State. They've got Heisman potential McSorley back. They lost Saquon Barkley and a lot of receivers and Deshaun Hamilton as well. But Miles Sanders is taking his spot. Defense will be solid. I know they lost Joe Moorhead, the offensive coordinator, but James Franklin will continue to get the job done, and this will be an easy win for Penn State. No letting up, as McSorley will put up big numbers, and Penn State will win easily, going away. Now let's go on to another ranked team in a non-Power 5, and that is number 22, Boise State, taking on Troy in Alabama. Boise State will win this game behind the arm of quarterback behind Brett Rypien. I apologize. And as we know, Boise State's been a model of consistency. In the last 16 seasons they've won 10 games 13 times easily. They'll continue to do that this year as they'll fight for a New Year's Six Bowl because they're a talent team in the non-Power 5, and they will make noise as usual, as they always do. They are a good team, no doubt about that. Now let's go into another game as we have Stephen F. Austin taking on Mississippi State. They're led by new coach Joe Moorhead, who's coming over as the offensive coordinator for Penn State. Now, he has a lot of talent on his team. Nick Fitzgerald returning for his senior year. They have some elite defenders. Now, Mississippi State will win this game easily, hands down, and they'll get the Joe Moorhead era started off in the right way. Okay, I got a couple more games for you guys. Now, Bowling Green is going to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Oregon Ducks as they're led by new head coach Mario Cristobal. And also, Oregon has Justin Herbert back this year. Hopefully, he can stay healthy as he's been battling injuries his first 2 years. But he's definitely a potential first-round NFL talent if he can stay healthy, because Oregon went 6-2 last year when he played. Now, they'll be blowing Boise State out as their favorite Bowling Green out by 33.5. I think they'll cover that spread easy. Justin Herbert will play well. Will be taken out by the third quarter, and Oregon will continue to play well along with the side of Herbert. Now, let's go to starts of the game tonight as we have Louisville taking on number 1 Alabama. Once again, Alabama's been ranked number 1 at some point in 11 straight seasons, which is a record. Nick Saban is a great coach as he is. We know as good as he is. Nick Saban's only lost 4 games at home since he's been at Alabama, but he has a total of 5 national championships. So if that's not great, then I don't know what to tell you. As much as I hate Alabama, you can do nothing but respect them. Now they're taking on Louisville in Orlando, and Louisville, as we know, has lost the quarterback Lamar Jackson, and now they'll be led by Jawan Pass. They have some guys, solid receiver, Des Fitzpatrick, and some other guys, and Jalen Smith. But also, defensively, I don't know what they're gonna do. Now, there's been a lot of trash talking going back and forth between Alabama and Louisville. Some of the players have been saying that they can take on Alabama. You know, I wouldn't give Alabama any extra motivation, in my opinion. Now, we know Alabama is having a QB controversy as they took Jalen Hurts out last year in the national championship and put into it Tagovailoa. Now, both of them will play there, as Nick Saban has announced, so it won't get resolved today. But Alabama will blow this game wide open against Louisville because they're overmatched. Louisville won't be able to handle it after so long. Alabama will win another season opener easily, in my opinion, and we'll keep talking about the Crimson Tide contending for another national championship. Now let's go. As you all know, I'm a huge Michigan fan, and today is a huge game for the Wolverines. This is definitely a make-or-break year for Jim Harbaugh, no doubt about it. Michigan hasn't won a road game against a ranked team since 2006. Now, will they snap that streak today? I believe they do. They're led by the new starting quarterback transfer from Ole Miss, Shea Patterson. They will get the job done and they will win in South Bend today. Now, they weren't favored, but as I just checked the spread a few moments ago, it was a 1.5 favorite. Now it's a pick'em game for a lot of people, but I'm still taking them, Michigan, to win this game. A tough one. I'm gonna say 26-20 in South Bend as they get the job done. Now let's jump down. Tomorrow we have LSU taking on number 8 Miami in Dallas in Jerry World. Now this is a huge game for both teams. Miami had a bounce back year last year. They started off 10-0, but when they went up to Pitt, they lost to Clemson, they lost to Wisconsin. 3 losses in a row. It's not good. Now Malik Rozier has to prove that he can continue to do it. I mean, I don't have much faith in him, but Miami will have a good year. They'll finish second in the ACC behind Clemson. Now, LSU is breaking in transfer from Ohio State, Joe Burrow. As we all know, they've had their troubles with the quarterback play. So let's see what LSU can do. But this is a make-or-break game for LSU as well, too. They lose this game, it's going to be a bad season for them, as they got to take on Auburn in a couple weeks as well. So I don't see LSU win this game, but the U will win this game. As close as it's a 3.5-point favorite Miami, but I'm taking the U. Now let's go to Monday night, where we have Virginia Tech traveling to Tallahassee to take on the newly coached Florida State Seminoles by Willie Taggart, which was his dream job. Now he's inherited a lot of talent. Deondre Francois is coming back last year from the gruesome knee injury he suffered. But the problem with Florida State that I'm having is why I'm not picking them to win this game is the offensive line. They have been mediocre and below average at best. They have not been able to protect the quarterbacks, and whoever's under center has been getting crushed. Now, if they can protect them, they have a chance to win this game. But they have a lot of talent. Jimbo Fisher left, obviously, as we know, went to Texas A&M, but he left Taggart a lot of talent. It's a Monday night game on Labor Day. It will be hyped, but I'm trusting a lot of people. I'm trusting Josh Jackson in his second year under Justin Fuente to get the job done. As Virginia Tech is going to prove a lot of doubters wrong, and that they're going to be a contending team in the ACC, and they will be a sleeper. Don't doubt that. Those are my picks. But real quick before I get off, people, let me give you 2 teams that are not in the top 25 that are sleepers in my opinion this year. That is the NC State Wolfpack, led by Ryan Finley, a top NFL prospect at quarterback. And then we also have South Carolina Gamecocks, led by Coach Will Muschamp and Jake Bentley, and they have a nice receiver is coming back from injury as well. Don't sleep on those 2 teams. But everybody, I want to make sure you do me one thing. Make sure you enjoy this week 1 of college football. We all love it. I'm excited. I'll be back next week with my picks too as well. But have a great Saturday, people. Let's get it done.